How do gay men develop sexual confidence? Hey guys, Michael Pizzulo here, psychotherapist in West Hollywood. So I'm gonna do a series about gay men and sexual confidence. I'm gonna break it into 3 parts, past, present, future. So in this first video, what we're gonna think about is our sexual history and sexual development, because developing confidence starts with understanding your origin story, right? So how did I develop my sexual identity in the first place? And really unpacking all of the elements that went into that. And I think this is so important for gay men because no matter where you come from, I think that we developed our sexual identity with some layers of secrecy, shame, something of the sort. I mean, I think a lot of people do in general, just because of different cultures that can be kind of shaming about sexual topics, but gay men in particular, got a lot of flack, right, for what we were interested in. So start with thinking of just your early attractions. So who were your first crushes? These could be classmates, teachers, TV characters, whatever. And then think about what drew you to them. Was it the way they looked, their demeanor? How did you know that you were attracted to them in this particular way? And again, when we're kids, we have these inklings of things emerging and developing. We don't really understand what's going on, but we get a sense of feeling pulled towards something. So how did you identify that? Was it like butterflies in your stomach? Was there a heart racing sensation? So begin to examine things like that, of just these early crushes and early attractions before puberty set in. Then when we think about puberty, when really sexual development begins, you're gonna wanna think about, when did I first masturbate? Did I even know what masturbation was? Did I have any education about that before, whether it was from my parents or health class or something, or did I just kind of stumble across it? And then thinking about, when I was an adolescent, what did I fantasize about when I was masturbating? What did I find erotic? What was I drawn to? Then thinking about, especially for younger generations, like pornography, was I using porn to masturbate right away? Some people it wasn't really available, or it just took too long to download, or it wasn't so accessible on the family computer or whatever. But thinking about your early relationship with porn is very important. But also just think about what you were aroused by, what you were turned on by, how you felt after masturbating. Did you feel a sense of shame? Did you feel a sense of, I have to get this over as quickly as possible? Were you excited about it? All of those different feelings you want to begin to explore and unpack and understand. Then you're going to want to think about your early sexual experiences. And I think for gay men, this can be quite layered, because for some folks, these experiences were later on because they weren't out yet, or their early experiences may have been with women initially because they were trying to make that work. But just generally speaking, think about, your early actual sexual experiences with other men. And these can be sexual that didn't have to go into full penetration, or maybe they did, but think about again, how you felt about them. How were these experiences initiated? How did you even go about finding a sexual partner when you were first trying things out? How did it go? How did you feel during it? Did you enjoy it? Was it scary? Was it awkward? Was it clumsy? All those sorts of things. And also really track how you felt afterwards. Did you feel excited that you've discovered something you want to do more of? Or did you feel ashamed or conflicted? So you're going to want to unpack all of that. Then you're going to want to think about early senses of your arousal template. So how did I first begin to develop what I even like sexually? Whether it's being a top or a bottom or a side or whatever it is, how did I first begin to identify what I enjoy and how? How did I know that I was drawn to these certain acts over the other? You're also going to want to consider, and I don't want to get too off on this tangent, but did I experience any early sexual experiences that were traumatic in any way or violating in any way? Because again, if that happened early on, that can definitely leave an impact in terms of your sexual identity and confidence. And unfortunately, those are quite common in the gay community, so we definitely want to recognize those. But thinking about that as well, of how did that impact the way I see sex, my comfortability, so on and so forth. And then you're going to want to think about your confidence and your identity. How comfortable were you expressing yourself sexually as you begun to explore sex? How did you feel letting someone touch your body? How comfortable were you with your body? How did you feel about seeking out sexual experiences? Did you want to pursue them or be pursued? You know, how comfortable were you doing that? How did you navigate sexual health? You know, did you even know about sexual health in terms of, you know, HIV or other STIs? Like, what was your awareness of those things? Did you bring that into the equation when you begun exploring sex, or did you not quite know a lot about it? So thinking about all of those experiences and how they showed up in your early sexual, you know, flings, hookups, and so on and so forth. I would think, you know, again, the ages kind of vary, but maybe thinking ages 25 and under, something along those lines, of just really unpacking all of those experiences and beginning to think, how did that create my sense of sexual identity and sexual confidence? What did that leave me with? That's what you're really going to want to explore. And then lastly, too, thinking about romance. Did I begin to incorporate romance into sex early on, or was that completely separate? Did I find myself drawn to intimacy? Did I not want intimacy? Did I conflate sex and intimacy? Were they totally separate? So thinking about that as well. Also thinking about, how did I begin to identify sexual versus romantic feelings with other men? And how did I recognize or reconcile the difference between the two? So I'll put this all on my blog, so it's all written out, but I think getting to know your confidence, or getting to develop your confidence, begins with self-knowledge and self-understanding. So really start here and really reflect on what my early experiences were, how did I develop my sexual identity, and in the next video, what I'm gonna do is go through current sexual practices and your current arousal template. But for now, just reflect on the past and see what you come up with. And as always, as you do this, take a stance of curiosity, exploration, and neutrality, that you're not looking to judge yourself or ridicule yourself. You're just looking to understand where you came from. So I hope this was useful. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. If there are other key aspects of understanding one's sexual development and history that you think I should include, I would love to, you know, get your thoughts on those, and I can add those in. And again, I hope this is useful, and I hope you can use this as an opportunity to begin to understand yourself and develop more confidence as a gay man. So as always, if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and if you want to talk to me directly or think about working together, I'll put a link in the description to if you want to book a consult with me. So thanks, guys.